What's going on, guys? King Tar Heel here, and we're doing some more Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning builds. This is going to be the combo builds. My last video was a little too long. It was right at 15 minutes, so we're going to do two builds this time. I'll show you guys two combo builds that I've enjoyed. These are for starter sets, usually 12 levels 12 to 15, and you can start filling in the points. I should have some higher level builds coming up next, so hit that sub button if you're interested in those. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a tank mage, or a battle mage, as I like to call it. And we'll go ahead and start. We have 15 points in the might tree. So here we have the 2 points here to get the weapon skills on the left side, the brutal weaponry and the brutal weaponry 2. We have 3 points. You can put your 3 points in whatever weapon you feel like you're going to be using: greatsword, longsword, or great hammer. We have 3 points in defense to help with our blocking, skillful defense, and then we have 5 points in quake, which is a great cone area of effect damage that does really good damage. Next we have our 24 points in sorcery, and we'll go through these. We have 5 points in stormbolt, we have 5 points in scepter mastery, we have 5 points in mark of flame, and we have 3 points into chain lightning. And then we have, I think I missed the 5 points in conservative casting, which is an absolute must. And then we have our summon Gorta, which is the skeleton guy. You can move these points a little bit around. You can move the 3 over to the ice barrage if you want another spell. But I usually like to just focus on 2 magic. And then we already have our scepter mastery, which is going to be our secondary weapon. So let's go ahead and show you guys what this spell can do. We'll go through and pick our destiny. So here on the destiny, we're going for a battle mage, so obviously that is where we're going to go. So battle mage, you need 14 in might, 14 in sorcery. So we gain 30% of damage received as mana, which is great. 17 elemental resistance, always good. 10 melee attack damage, also great for our spec. And then blink replaces dodge as a short range teleport, which is at least cool to look at. So let's go ahead and show you guys what this build can do. So here are some of the basic things that the battle mage can do. He has a wide range of spells. He's good in up-close combat. He has the weapon proficiencies that you need at this level to be successful. Then he has the cone quake, which he can use to do devastating damage in front of. He gets a pet class, which is you don't see often with a melee class with another melee pet. He's got ranged attacks, and he's got an AoE mark of flame. Another cone attack, and then he's able to switch to scepter almost instantly. And the real advantage of this class is the ability to switch. So you can pretty much face any enemy and just switch your armor. So if you're facing a lone enemy and you wanted a defensive posture, you could block, you could parry, and beat them down and just use your skills as needed. You wouldn't need to necessarily have to have a ton of mana, and you'd be able to take a lot of damage. And then on the flip side, you could then switch all of your armor. If you're going up against, you need more an offensive based, you can switch your armor over to your mage set, and then you'll have more mana regen, and you'll be able to then become a much more offensive player. So all you have to do is simply switch your armor, and you go from being a defensive tank with a pet to being an offensive powerhouse with a pet. So in a real great combo that way. And then as the mage, you're able to switch to the scepter. Your pet can do some damage, and you're able to keep range, and all the while keeping your mana full. So it's one of my favorite builds that I've done. And you're able to grow. Once you get a few more levels, you can start getting the heal, and you can start getting the ice shards as well. So there's a lot of different ways to grow with the battle mage. So it's probably the top combo build that I have. It's just versatile. Any situation you can find a place for the battle mage. Next up, we have a combo class with might and finesse. This is a build that will pull with ranged attack and then be able to defend up close in combat as well. So it's a good ranged and up close class. So let's delve in a little bit. We have our 16 points in might here. We have the 2 weapon classes here, as we will be using a long sword, or a great sword, excuse me, that I use in this class. But you can pick the long sword or the hammer. It's your preference there. We have 5 points in skillful defense to get the shield bash and the 30% blocking mitigation, and then we have 5 points in quake, which is my favorite melee spell in the game. The rest of our points go over to the finesse tree. Here we have the 3 points in finesse, or actually, obviously in finesse. Excuse me. We have the 3 points in bow. We have longbow mastery, draw power, and arrow storm for the AOE arrow effect. We then have 5 points in poison to apply our poison. We then have frost trap as well. So this is pretty much ranged and setting up our range. We want to put dots. We want to put poison on the enemy, have them run into a frost trap, and then if they get close enough to us, we have our defense and our great sword or weapon of choice and quake waiting for them. So it's a great combo build. If you do select this build and you get the 14 might and 14 finesse, we get to have the Warden as our destiny, which 17% melee attack damage, 10% ranged attack damage, and 5% chance to crit, which is everything we're looking for. So we are now a Warden, and let's show what this guy can do. Now, generally this build is about attacking from range, putting up your poisons, and keeping your distance, but when you are able to strike, melee-wise, the ability to do significant damage that way. So generally I prefer to go with the finesse armor, which usually gives a crit bonus and attack bonus versus the blocking bonus. But if you're facing a really tough solo enemy or you're in tight quarters, you may want to switch over to the melee armor that way. So a lot of the stuff we have is you have your ranged attack, you have your weapon skills, so you have your AoE attack that you can do. When they get up close, you have all of your weapon skills this way as well, with the hammer or great sword or whatever you wanted to use. I just have a really good hammer, so that's why I'm using the hammer, but you can switch those points around as needed. And when they get close, you have your quake that you can cast 3 times in succession. You keep your poisons up, and generally when you pull, drop a frost trap, and you should be able to pull, do some damage, put your poisons up, have them run into a frost trap, and if they're stunned, walk in, melee, and then back out and attack again. So it's a good combo build. You just need to play with your armor a little bit, decide how you want to go, if you want to go more offensive or defensive. And that's pretty much it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. And there should be a couple more up shortly. I haven't had that much time, but I'll go ahead and put some more up. And hit that sub button, hit the like button, and take care. Bye.